Dude, you ever notice how different the news sounds from one source to another?
Yeah, it's like you could get 20 different headlines all circulating around the same story.
True that.
Hey, have you guys ever read Brooke Gladstone's The Influencing Machine?
For sure, who hasn't?
Yeah, in it, Gladstone talks about how media has its own set of biases that influence the way they report a story. She claims that commercial and bad news biases make journalists report stories that instill fear in the public and are fresh and new because they sell better.
It is surely so, Tyler.
You can totally see that in the news today. Have you seen anything on this new story about the knockout game?
Isn't that where random groups of adolescents will approach lone random strangers and try to knock them out to impress their friends?
Yeah! It's been making a lot of headlines lately, but the story itself seems to differ greatly from one media outlet to another.
Let's take a look at a few articles about the knockout game to see how media biases may have influenced them.
I'll go first. I saw a story about this on the Independent Journal Review's website. The article was titled, "If this game is any indication of the future of America, you may want to start packing your bags." And it links to a local news story in New Jersey. They show footage of groups of teenagers approaching and knocking out random strangers and hobos in Jersey. This is clearly an example of Gladstone's bad news bias. The reporters interview the locals who all know about the knockout game, and it certainly looks like some sort of epidemic. One guy even says, it could be anybody. It could be a mother and her children. I know that one time, they got the UPS guy. I guess bad news sells.
That's weird. I read an article by Ray Edroso on Village Voice that basically says that this whole story is just an opportunity for the right wing to scare white people into thinking that this is part of an American race war, push their Second Amendment rights, or blame Obama. What's interesting is that Edroso's story barely even mentions the knockout game at all. Instead, he focuses on calling out other reporters for using the story to push their own agendas. Edroso cites right-wing news and blog headlines like, "Obamacare might be Obama's version of the knockout game," or "Stop the knockout with a shootout." This is a good example of Gladstone's commercial bias, where she claims that, quote, "news needs conflict and momentum, it needs to be new," end quote. Edroso's article isn't really about the knockout game at all, it just creates a conflict between how journalists are reporting the knockout game.
You know, what's funny is that I read an article that says the knockout game may not even be a story at all. Slate.com's Emma Roller wrote a story called The Knockout Game, Trend is a Myth, where she basically states that there isn't any evidence to support the idea that the knockout game is worth reporting at all. Roller claims that A, this story has come up once a year for the past few years, B, that all the evidence for it is anecdotal, and C, a few poorly edited YouTube videos have caused all of this hype. In fact, you know what that video from the first article of knockouts in New Jersey? Well, it turns out they weren't all from New Jersey after all.
Really?
Yeah! An article on The Guardian proved that videos of people getting knocked out were actually culled from Chicago, Jersey, and London, and then assembled together to make it look like it all took place in one city.
So all of these stories and articles may be circulating around a misleading video?
That's right.
Gladstone would say that this whole thing is a result of an echo chamber. When a fact sent by one person spreads in geometric progression to others until millions of people around the world potentially believe it. Nobody double checks their facts and dissenters are scorned.
Then, douche nozzles like Sean Hannity use the fake story as a constructed rhetorical situation where they can use it as fodder for their own agenda. But is there a way that we can break free from this echo chamber?
Absolutely. Gladstone implies that technological literacy may be the key. Knowing how to use smartphones and computers gives us access to all kinds of information we wouldn't normally have. For instance, when the knockout story was posted on the popular web forum Reddit, users had linked to different stories showing different points of views within minutes. Within a few hours, the story had essentially been disproven by the community. Technological literacy and information addiction may inoculate us against these echo chambers.
And that doesn't just apply to the knockout game, but to all news stories. When we read news stories, we need to pay attention to who's saying it and who their intended audience is.
That way, we're aware of the rhetoric and biases that are prevalent in all news media, and we can expose ourselves to multiple points of view.
That way, we can sort out the truth from the douche nozzle propaganda.
True that! Thanks, Brooke Gladstone!
Created using Powtoon.